it's Maria here from GoalieTrainingPro.com with Goalie Training Pro TV episode 31. And in this episode, we're going to be going over what to do when you're 2 weeks out from training camp or tryouts or starting back with your team. Basically, the first question, there's no middle ground here. So you're either going to be group 1 or you're going to be group 2. Group 1 are those goalies who actually did their off-season training like they were supposed to. And I don't mean like the last 3 weeks. I don't mean you went to the gym and like did bench press with your homies. I mean you actually followed a goalie-specific, periodized program. And if you don't know what that means, then you probably didn't do one. Basically from May, I'll give you June until now. So if that is you, no matter what you're doing, if you're on the bus, at the coffee shop, whatever, put your hand up. Not bad, not bad. Sarah put her hand up. She's live. She is full on line right now. Don't lie. Now here's group 2. You did not. And you can't be like, well, I sort of did, like I did, but no. No. This is a yes or no. So, I'm going to start with the yes people because, no offense against the no people, but I just like them better. I like action takers, so, sorry. So I'm going to start with the number 1 people. So the questions, because this is where most of the guys and girls that I work with, this is where they're at right now. So did you do all your training? Did you, and I know we have family vacations or things like that. So if you had a family vacation, the last week of July, you don't need to take this week off before you go to training camp. What I usually ask is, how do they feel? So how do you feel? Do you feel like a bag of hammers? Do you feel tired and sore and like you're not recovering, from day to day? What's your training camp schedule going to be like? Is it going to be nuts? Is the off-ice training going to be crazy? You're going to be playing tons of scrimmages. What's that going to be like? And do you have a spot on the team? And not, oh yeah, I think I'm the best goalie. I'm pretty sure I have a spot on the team. I mean, no, like I've signed my card. I have a spot on the team. I know there's never a guarantee, but where do you fall in that spectrum? I think you're going to have to battle for a spot. I think if you are feeling good, like you've done all your training, but you've taken some unloading phases and things like that, you're feeling good, your camp's going to be pretty intense, you're probably going to battle for a spot. I think you should take probably anyway 2 days off before the camp, and just relax, love life, let your body super compensate. Make sure you're getting your sleep. Make sure you're well hydrated. Get on the ice. Now, don't sort of get on the ice 5 times more than you normally do, but make sure you're getting on the ice, trying to see some good shots, fine-tuning those things. If you're just feeling really exhausted, like you're not getting any recovery, I think it might be okay to take 3 or 4 days off before heading into that camp. But again, that doesn't mean just doing nothing. That means working on your hand-eye, trying to get on the ice, working on your movements, and again, trying to see shots, because that's going to be the hardest part, just to adapt back to seeing some good quality shots. So that is for the goalies that did do their training. Even leading into it, sorry, I'm sticking with you guys still, drop your volume a little bit. So if you normally do, so one of our guys, today's his last day, and then he's going off to his junior camp. He's only going to do 2 sets today, and he's not going to do the speed and the stamina. So, and then he's going to have Friday off. What day is today? Thursday? Yeah. Then he's going to have Friday off, and then his camp, I think, starts Saturday or something like that. But he's been feeling good, and he had a nice vacation with his family earlier in the year, and yesterday he had a day off because the company he works for in the summer had a golf tournament. So that's how we're working it. But for sure, your volume's going to come down a bit, just a couple sets, and then you're just not going to tempt fate. So I'm always paranoid on the last day. It's like, let's not do something where this athlete's just going to, sprain their ankle, or because just the weirdest things happen. So, yeah, that's it for you guys. Those of you who didn't do your training, trying to work out now, it's not going to help. So forget about that. Try to get on the ice. Try to see some good shots. Try to get back in sync with what you're doing. You could do a bit of work, some mobility work, some self-myofascial release. You could do the butterfly challenge. It's a couple weeks long. I think you can work on your strength, and because it's not even so much strength, it's a little more positional strength, which I think is going to be a little more neuromuscular, a little more nervous system oriented. But work on things like your bottom up half kneeling squat. So from this position, arms out in front, everything coming up together over a count of 4, kind of building that strength in a nice low position. I think that's probably good. And just like 4 reps on each side. We're not really trying to build strength. We're just trying to help you use the strength you have in a functional way. I think just working on a little knee recovery, lateral hop, and a bigger hop. My hops are so powerful, I would jump right out of the shot. So I'm just trying to keep it under control. But, a nice, so getting that, thinking about your body position, staying stable, a nice knee recovery, lateral hop to balance will be good. You can work on your single knee balance, so lifting up that foot, trying to stay square, because that plays a big part when you're moving in your crease and this knee is on the ground. So those are things that I would work on. Again, maybe 4 of those squats, maybe 4 lateral hop and stick each way, 30 seconds on each knee of balancing, and then working on your mobility. I think those actually will improve your performance a little bit. Actually, more than a little bit. I think it'll help. It won't make up for the whole off season, but it'll help. Then I think maybe my last piece of advice, I'll check my notes in a second to see what I missed, but write a letter to yourself and with how you feel, because you probably feel, or you might feel a little bit like, why didn't I do what I said I was told myself I would do after the season ended? Why didn't I do the things I said I was going to do to make this my best season ever? And to be able to come into the season knowing that I was so prepared, this was my best season ever. So kind of write down how you feel and then read it when the end of the season comes to help remind yourself, I want to take advantage of every opportunity. Or maybe you're young and you're just not there yet, but for next season, you're going to up your game. There was something else I thought of. Then the other thing I think you should do is be checking out, and start making a plan. I know the first week of the season is going to be kind of hectic, but then make a plan. Hey, what am I going to do during the season? What's the plan I'm going to follow so that I'm actually gaining momentum as I go and not sort of getting slower, weaker, because and even for the people that did their off-ice training all summer, it drives me bananas because guys come back to us in the spring and they're fatter, they're weaker, they're slower. So, we don't want that to be the way you're going into playoffs. So have a plan so that you actually can gain momentum as the season goes on. And maybe at the start, you're going to be fine, but maybe not your best. Some guy who did their training like crazy in the off-season is going to come out gangbusters. But if they don't keep it up, they're going to be tailing off, and now you're going to get your ducks in a row, and you're going to be climbing as you head into playoffs. So that's what we really want. I'm going to check my notes, see if I forgot anything. Wow. Oh, yeah, here's another thing. If you didn't do your testing, you didn't do your training, if you're going to a team that's going to be doing some testing, do you know what the testing is? I would practice that testing so at least you're familiar with it. Really, technically we don't ever want to just train for a test, but at this stage, and don't go nuts on it, but just make sure you're familiar with what to do so that maybe you can fool them a little into thinking that you did your training. That's it, man. That's all I have for you guys. Thanks so much for joining me on this episode of Goalie Training Pro TV. I will catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye.